Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement. And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. This is a follow-up from yesterday, but it's a very special presentation because no one's getting it. You know, Elijah Muhammad said, Master Muhammad told him, Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam. But they didn't understand it. Because they understood, they would not be a Farrakhan, because there's no mathematics there. There's no mathematics in there. There's no mathematics Sunnism. There's philosophy, ideas, but no mathematics. None. Zero. They might try to wax a little, oh, I know about electricity, they get that wrong, right? Or sound, how fast sound travels, right? But no mathematics. None, zero. So if Islam is mathematics, and it is, and mathematics is Islam, they should be teaching mathematics, shouldn't they? They're not teaching Islam, are they? See, you don't think these things through. And these guys, these people, whatever, they're traitors. Because they speak and don't know what they're talking about. It's like someone takes and, they hold a baby over the banister, right? And just because they don't know that such thing as gravity, right? And the baby falls, you go, well, I didn't know that could happen. It doesn't matter when you know it not happen. Your ignorance is no excuse. Well, I didn't know. It's not gonna help that baby. See? Ignorance is no excuse. We deal with mathematics. Like Christianity, there's no mathematics there whatsoever. And it's designed to keep you locked down in servitude, because if you know mathematics, you will not be in servitude. But servitude is absence of mathematics or someone else controlling your mathematics. Everything is mathematics. So if you don't know how to control, if you don't know mathematics, someone else does, they control you. Islam is mathematics, so it means all mathematics is Islam. So if you don't know mathematics, then you're being controlled by someone who knows more mathematics than you, and if you don't know any little bit is more than yours. I don't know if you understand that. See, to be a god, that means you have knowledge and control of mathematics. Okay? How do you control mathematics? You use it, you apply it. But our people don't know mathematics, and these fools don't know mathematics, but they keep talking. But remember, they are talking mathematics. They just don't know it. They're talking negative mathematics that's going to destroy them. Everything's mathematics, no exception. Okay? You got positive math and you got negative math. So their math is destroying them. And ignorance of mathematics will destroy you. That's why you must come to the mathematical standard. That's how we felt the mathematical standard, so that's why we're in the situation we are right now. But now it's time to rise back up to the mathematical standard. That's where religions come from. There's no mathematics. Not one of these religions out there is mathematics. That's where religions come from. It's depart from mathematics. At least in Hinduism, you have the concept of karma, which is consequence. But in Christianity, even that's gone, because you do whatever you want to do. You got to just believe in Jesus, no consequence. And it's designed to keep you enslaved, because you either control mathematics or are controlled by mathematics. You either control mathematics or you controlled by mathematics. If you're controlled by mathematics, you're a slave. You're a slave to mathematics. Either you the god of mathematics or you're a slave to mathematics. One or the other. There's no in between. And the angel's here to make you the god of mathematics. Okay. But if you're fearful because you can't see mathematics, where everything you see is mathematics, but you can't see the mathematics of it. So if your mind can't deal with that, then you're afraid, and so you become a victim of mathematics. You become a slave to mathematics because you're afraid to take control of mathematics. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But traders, all they do is they're building up negative mathematics to the extent that they're not going to be unimaginable. Now let me go over this again, brothers and sisters, because this little trick they've been doing. Now, again, I have to tell you, Elijah Muhammad is not a dummy, but Farrakhan is using him as a dummy because he's a demon himself. He follows the devil. That's the case closed right there. The mathematics of that means he could not possibly be the leader of the righteous people because he follows the devil. The mathematics right there, if you understood mathematics, the biological mathematics, that case closed. He's a devil. He follows the devil. They try to soften up now, right? His father lights in Jamaican and his father with it. He told the truth originally. His father raped his mama. His father was the devil. You got him saying it. Just the mathematics of it. Anyway, he used Elijah Muhammad in his absence as a dummy. But he's not presenting him as a dummy. He's used him as a dummy. There's a difference. See? And that's how he's used it, because he's saying, the ventriloquist is talking, his mouth's not moving, but the dummy's mouth is moving. So the idea is, it's the dummy saying that stuff. When it's actually the ventriloquist, Farrakhan saying it. But what's the trick comes in at? See, because he's not representing Elijah as a dummy, he's using him as a dummy. So he's saying Elijah Muhammad is his teacher. So whatever comes out of Elijah Muhammad's mouth, he's just repeating what Elijah Muhammad says. But he's using Elijah Muhammad as a dummy, and what's coming out of Elijah Muhammad's mouth is not Elijah's words, it's his words. So he's just repeating his words using Elijah as a cover. Say, oh, that came from Elijah. No, it came from you. You put Elijah's mouth, and then he said, see, I'm with Elijah. And they're getting away with that to certain people. And they want to take the next step, the AI step, where they actually have Elijah saying this stuff. And like they can make people say anything they want to say. You're supposed to see that stuff on the internet now. The problem is that whole history of message, blackmail, all those different things, right, that can disprove it, but they have to find a way to cancel that out. So you don't have anything to reference with, and you have to say, yeah, Elijah said that. I said, we're not going anywhere. I said, devils not devils. So then Farrakhan's a faithful follower of Elijah. That's the point. That's the objective. If you want, brothers and sisters. Apocalypse, one heaven. That was my original topic, but I'm kind of like depart from that right now. I'll come back to it, but I want to get to something else, brothers and sisters. But the storm, right now, the period we are in right now is the one heaven. That's where we are in time. That's just preceding the Great Tribulation, right? That's during a time of energy, abomination of desolation, which no one's calling. I called it prior. It's a time of where we come out of our 400-year internment. I called that. 1619 or 2019, there'd be a plague that will kill the firstborn, the elderly. 2020, called all of those things. And then that would trigger the abomination of desolation. Right? It was going about a year and a half. and that would morph into the war in heaven. Well, actually, that's the first phase of war in heaven. So we're in the war of heaven phase now, chapter 12 of Revelations, or into what you call Revelations, and that kicks off Armageddon. But anyway, this is the period of time right now, dramatic. This is the period, the resurrection of the Nation of Islam. This is the period, right, where there'll be decision made to says where dragon was watching and devour the child, souls were born. We're in that period. So the nation was born in a day, we're in that period. That's where we are right now. Babylon's about to fall, right there. Right. We're in that period right now. And all these things that I just mentioned will happen before the end of the year. Before the end of the year. So this war right here is what triggers. This war in heaven that triggers all these other things. Right? And we have to quiet before the storm because the war is going on now. They keep saying it's not a ceasefire, it's a pause. So nobody's agreed to a ceasefire. Right? But in my estimation, right, it'll be fully blown, this war will be fully hot, fully blown by September. But I'm confident that it will resume again this month, pretty soon, maybe in a couple of days. Anyway, it will be going extremely hot and heavy by September. And October is when Iran will prevail. Iran will win this war. The Shia will win this war. They will prevail. They will achieve their goal of kicking Gog and Magog, America and Britain, out of the Middle East. Who is Gog and Magog? Just look at chapter 20. Information is there, brothers and sisters. It said be two world powers that will rule. Who are the two world powers? Only two world powers, not Russia, not Germany. They weren't world powers. There's regional powers. Only two world powers, Britain, Sun Never Set, the British Empire, America. That's the two. And they came out after the 1,000-year dark ages, what they call the millennia, 1,000 period. That's European history. The resurrected was the Abraham's resurrected empire that kept them locked down in Europe for 1,000 years. Okay? All these things are, you can check, everything I tell you, you can check out easily. Mecca, Medina, Kaaba, pilgrimage, Hajj, all that stuff was already there when Prophet Muhammad was born. He didn't build that stuff. He didn't create that stuff. Right? They believed in Allah. They had the Kaaba. Only problem was they went and descended into idolatry because Allah has 100 proper names and they gave each proper name an idol. So they had in the Kaaba, in there, right? They had 100 idols in there. And Allah was the top idol. They descended into idolatry. Right? So all that stuff is there already. I don't know if they call it Islam or not, right? But anyway, that's the religion of Abraham. They descended into idolatry. All those pictures was there already. They won't tell you that because then you say, well, that's Abraham's resurrected, because that's why I said resurrected, because they had descended. That means something that was there already, and then it fell, and now it's being revived. Prophet Muhammad just revived it. So what did he revive? He revived what Abraham had and what he revived. So if he revived it, he put it back the way Abraham had it. So that would tell you that Abraham's religion was Islam. And this is not theory. This is actually all just history. This history. And chapter 20 just tells you the real history. It's just history. It's not something that's like, yeah, somebody died and came back to life. Prophet Muhammad, he didn't create Islam. He resurrected it. That's what it said in chapter 20. He just revived it. Okay. So that's where we are right now in time. And so things are going to be very dramatic. It's dramatic now to the point to have a pause. And a pause before the storm, this pause is going to make, when this pause ends, it's going to be worse than it was before it started. Because the heat is building up, the pressure's building. There's damming up. If you dam up water, dam up water, right? Because you want to stop the water from flowing. Once the dam breaks, then you got a flood. You got worse than you had before. Unless you can hold that water back, and definitely you can. That's where you are, quiet before the storm. And when that pause breaks, it's going to be worse, a lot worse. The longer that pause lasts, the worse it's going to be. And the pause will stop before September. There's no doubt about that. I don't know the particular, actual specific dates. I do know that it will occur before the end of the year. I know the general time frame. Only one knows, and that's from Michael. It's the only one that knows. Again, ask Farrakhan who Michael is, if he can even talk. Ask these clowns out there, they can't tell you. You have no idea. Because they're just talking. If you're talking, let's talk about, that's you're talking mathematics. That means you're creating negative mathematics for yourself. Negative mathematics, bad luck. So they surround themselves with a cloud of bad luck. In a time of grace, so to speak, the dam is all that's being held back. Because the original nation is the dam is holding consequence and everything back, holding this flood back. And the Shia is holding a certain point of the flood back too, if you understand Israel Key. They're holding back the flood of China and India, if you understand that one. But our people, their ignorance is holding back the flood of consequence, because they are the consequence. Like if you punch me in the face, I'm asleep. Right? No matter what I'm asleep or not, I still, consequence said I had the right to punch you back in the face. I'm asleep, so I'm asleep. You keep punching me in the face while I'm asleep. Every day you punch me in the face, boom, boom, I'm asleep. And then I wake up. So I wake up after a month. You punch me in the face 30 times. I'm not gonna wake up. See? So you, only reason why you didn't get the response, because I was asleep. It was damming up. But all those punches, I wake up, man, my face sore and everything. What happened? This guy punching in the face every day. Oh, now, just I punch him back. It's not, but all at once. I'm not gonna take 30 days to do it. I'm gonna do it in one day. Right? So if each punch is worth 10 pounds, that's 300 pounds one time. Bam! That's why it says all of Babylon's evil and sins become back her in one day, 1 year. 500 years in 1 year. So that means you can't imagine what that's going to be like. Okay? So right now, our people are asleep. And they want to keep us asleep, because when you keep asleep, you keep punching me in the face. Boom, keep punching in the face. And you see him start staring, and you better kill him, because he's just totally justified in punching you for every day you punched him. Totally justified. So the only way you're going to get around it, right, is take and make sure he don't wake back up. If you can't keep him asleep, then kill him. That's just basic logic. And that's exactly what's happening here, bro. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. You understand it. They did it to us. And I said, do double them as they did to you. So we personification, so it's up to us. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. That means we must be the Lord, because it says, why would he tell you, vengeance is mine, and he tell you to take the vengeance? That means you to venge, you the Lord. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay. But they're telling you to repay. So that's confusing, isn't it? Unless you the Lord that's talking. So you don't pay attention to these things, because these things get right past you. You the Lord. You the maker. Owner, creator, planner, God of the universe. They're telling you, you're going to do to them as they done to you. That means you're doing it. So when it's done, that's it. Nobody's going to do it. What they've done to you, you're going to do it. Nobody's, right? Unless you have to pay somebody to do it, but they're doing it under your command. Still, you doing it. So you tell your son, hey, you punch me in the face 30 times. Well, still, you doing it. You command him to do it, because maybe he's too sore or something. Still you. It's your command. It says, do double them as done to you. So we must be the Lord. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Vengeance is something that you take, it's something done to you. See how these lessons come into play? Who's the original man? Make own the creator planet God of the universe. That shows right there, it's us. Because it's done to us. So day of wrath, day of justice. Justice what? You're paying somebody what they did. And if America did good, then the just reward would be good. You understand, brothers and sisters? And that all this, our resurrection will take place before the end year. That's not the end of everything. That's the end of that. And then Armageddon kicks in. Armageddon should kick in, right? Actually, when you think about it, War in Heaven is actually part of Armageddon. That's Armageddon is a European war, but it's not Armageddon proper, because Armageddon is going to take place in Europe proper, right? But when I say Armageddon is a European war, maybe I should clarify that. It's a European war. This is a European war too. War in Heaven, right? Go between European powers. Because you see, Iran is a European power on its maternal side. Because it's original, but on the maternal side, it's like Master Muhammad, Caucasian, because the original people were white skinned. That's why they're Master Muhammad's angels. Move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, I just mentioned War in Heaven. That's where we are right now. So right now, right, we're waiting for this pause to end. When it pauses in, that's when you're going to see it's going to be dramatic. Because there'll be full-blown war between not just false Israel and Iran, also America, because America's already involved. So that pause is keeping them attacking them, because remember, just for the pause, America just attacked Iran. So they keep saying, oh, false Israel begged for the pause, right? Say he begged Trump for the pause. Well, they did. But Trump wanted to pause too, because he knew he was going to attack him. See, they play these games and people don't pay attention to them. Because Iran was going to attack both of them, because it was openly attacked by America. Let's get a pause here. Not just stopping for attack false Israel, they was kicking their ass. But I don't want to attack us either, because we got our troops in those we haven't moved those troops out yet. See, that's the side you fool some people summertime or something, how you say it? Can't fool them all the time or something like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get into something. If we don't get into some mathematics, right? And you need to pay close attention, brothers and sisters. Because I teach how to add subtract. And she'd be able to go through the multiplication for that, but some of you still stumbling with math and subtraction. Some of you not even trying to add and subtract. Not even trying to think mathematically. Not even trying. And that's your downfall, because, right? You got to think mathematically. Because actually, when you don't, we're all on a level of beast. We're all on a level of beast right now, all of us, unless you're thinking mathematically. Because the animals have brains, don't they? Don't gorillas have brains? They look a lot like us, don't they? Pigs have brains. And they think. They have to think. I mean, you see what they do, they call it instinct. But a lion knows sneak up on a zebra, he knows just jump up there. He knows how to do it. He knows he want to be downwind. Right? He want the wind to be blowing towards him, not behind him, because then the zebra will smell him. So yeah, how do they know that? But then I think mathematically, I think on an emotional plane. That's what you're thinking. So you still in love, that's why I talk about beast, still in the level of beast. Remember, that's what they call you in Daniel. You're reduced to a beast. And Daniel said clearly, you were reduced to a beast until you got your mind back. They said a lion, but it's still a beast. Beast, a lion's a beast. You're reduced to a beast. And right now you are a beast. If you're not thinking mathematically, you're a beast. As the Bible says, and it make it very clear in Daniel, book of Daniel. So if you don't start thinking mathematically, if you make it home, you're going to be on a beast. I keep telling you, when you get home, right? If you don't just get the angel start, because that's what angel is. It's a gym that starts you thinking mathematically. I keep telling you that. If you're not thinking mathematically, then you're going to be just the next up from a gorilla, but you're still going to be a beast. And what do we do? Gorillas, put them in cages, throw them out in the jungle somewhere. Everlasting shame and torment, you know. And I'm giving you, I've been teaching over and over again, just the basic ABC. Some should be multiplying by now. Some should be going into deeper stuff, but you're not even adding it. I don't see anybody even add subtracting yet. Because if you can't add subtract, you cannot control your energy. You have no mathematics to control your energy. If you're not controlling your energy, you'll be controlled. Energy is not left in a vacuum. It's either controlled, right? Either it's being controlled. Either you control your energy or someone else controls it. Energy is always under control. It's always under control. It's not just sitting there. And that's what gets you to get home and get out of here. And because you start, only way you're going to do that is you start controlling your energy. And the only way to do that is you know the mathematics to do it. So I'm going to give you something that's close to home that maybe you understand. I try all kinds of ways to show it to you. I ain't trying to convince you, I'm just telling you. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with this information. So it tells you, look at it. See, it tells you here, this is actually mathematics, but you know, I told you all these books are mathematics. Because it says, okay, this was mother responsible for, it's what the father responsible for. But you understand mathematics, you understand this in a mathematical way. I'm going to explain to you in a mathematical way. At first, I'm on the illusion of money. See, because money is part of one of the tools they use to control your energy. It's deceptive. We didn't ever use money before the devils came along. 6,000 years ago, there was no money. No trace of it. That's something the devils came with. Yaqub gave them. It's a means, right? Control you. Because they control you from another point of view, from the quality. And see, you think, when you think of energy, you don't think about the quality. Actually, telling you, this quality is important. Because you can't just eat energy, you have to eat food. You can't eat your computer. You can eat rocks. That's what it says, momentous in the heavens and earth, but it comes over sudden. It has to, the earth has to absorb it. Because everything you get, like the Quran says, out of the earth. Earth has to conform it, transform it to form energy that you can use, food, water. Okay. So here's one of the tricks they have, because the money gets control, right, of the form of energy that you need. There's two ways to control it. They can't control the quantity. They can't control the quantity. They control quality. Everybody gets the same amount of energy. Right? So here's the lungs. Lungs produce oxygen. Right? And oxygen, it gives that to the heart. Heart needs oxygen. Right? And the heart produces blood, which the lungs need blood. They call it a symbiotic relationship. Right? It's like trees. Trees absorb carbon dioxide. That's what we breathe out. But they emit oxygen. Take the same word for it. I tell everything I say, just check it out. Trees emit, right, oxygen. They convert carbon dioxide and oxygen, and then emit oxygen, which we take in, and then we transform into carbon dioxide. So it's that constant relationship. Now, if you got rid of all the trees, we would die because there's nothing to transform out the carbon dioxide back to the air. So eventually, oxygen, we would die. Because we in the atmosphere, we convert carbon dioxide after a while, and then after a while, right? That's why they put you in a room, right? And locked you in a room, was a closed, airtight room. Eventually you'll die because you're taking the air in here and you turn it to carbon dioxide, but you can't breathe in that stuff. The air is still in the room, but it's turned to carbon dioxide. When they come in here, there's air in the room, but it's carbon dioxide now. And you can't breathe that, so it kills you. You know, that's why you gradually go to sleep, because there's less and less air, more and more carbon dioxide. The mixtures, less and less air, less and less oxygen, more and more carbon dioxide, until eventually you're gone. That's what happens in a relationship. So this is one of the things that one of the tricks that you. I think I know how to tricks. I try to tell you a lot of them. I try to use electricity. I use these things. I mean, if you go back and study, you don't. I just try to bring. I can't tell you. I don't. You know, it's just so much, brothers and sisters. You have to start studying your own. I can take your gym shot machines work, but you got to work them. So in this case, right here, say for instance, as long as it's giving the heart carbon dioxide, giving them oxygen which it needs, instead of the heart giving the lungs black blood, it says, oh well, the blood that you, the oxygen you give me is worth $100, right? So I'm gonna give you $100 worth of, I'm gonna give you $100 in cash. Well, as far as consequence concerned, that's balance. As far as consequence concerned, that's balance. But you can't. What your lungs can do with money? Nothing. Zero. So unless your lungs can convert that money into blood, that means extra work now. You see what the devil's doing? Now he got you actually working harder. Because now you got to transfer that money into blood. Otherwise, you're going to die because you're not getting any blood. And when you don't get any blood, that means you can't produce any oxygen. That means the heart dies too. And the only way this makes sense and that you have to understand that we're one body. So if you understand one body, this stuff don't make any sense to you. They teaching you that we're not one body. You're individual. You do your own thing. You go your own way. All these designed to keep you blind, ignorant, enslaved, keep you from starting to control your energy. They want to control your energy. They want to control the quality of your energy. They got rich off of it. They get rich off of the quality of your energy. Okay? A simpler way of looking at it is that a shit farm is equal to $1,000 shit farm, or $1 million shit farm is equal to $1 million gold mine. Both are worth $1 million. But what they tell you, only thing you can I got $1 million, but the only thing that you can buy with is a shit farm. Well, it's still worth $1 million. I'm a millionaire, but I'm a millionaire with a shit farm. So I got to smell shit and everything, but it's worth $1 million. Other guys got a gold mine. See? So if somebody controls that, say, no, you can only buy shit farm. Okay, say you produce gold. You produce gold, naturally produce gold, like bees produce honey, you produce gold. And then you got another person, they produce shit, they can't produce gold. But they like gold, they can't produce it. See? And so, you're not controlling your energy, but they do have control, so they have control of you. So since they have control of you, right, they can take your gold and give you their shit, right? So you produce they give you $100 worth of shit every day, and you get $100 worth of gold every day. While as consequence, that's dollars out, worth over $100. But since they have control, they take your gold and they give you shit in return. That's maximum profit, minimum overhead. That's capitalism by definition. Maximum profit, minimum overhead. It means they get, right? They don't have to always give you shit, but you get them gold. Both are worth $100. And that's what's happening here. Because Adam was given rule. He has power over us because we're here. He has our mind. So he's giving us shit. And we producing gold for him. And he's giving us shit in return. That continues until you wake up, come out of your coma. And they say, well, hell, I'm leaving. Once you leave here, you take your gold with you because you produce gold. And they sit here with their shit. So now they're here in that shit farm that they was giving to you, and you was giving your gold. But now you took your gold and went home. That's why Pharaoh don't want you to leave, because remember, he's part of the shit. He's a devil. He don't have a home to go to. This is his home. He's not Abraham's seed. So that covenant doesn't apply to him. So he's gotten rich off of you. How do you get rich? You don't have any business anywhere. And his son, so-called supreme captain, both are filthy rich because the same process. They've been giving you shit. And you give me your money in the name of Islam. Because I've been giving you shit for the last 42 years. Scientology, what's the other thing? Monism, ording, all kinds of philosophy bullshit. Right? And you've been giving the money in return. So you give me shit, and you give the money. You want to keep that process going. Come on, brothers and sisters. Okay? So they give you money, you can't. So that's one of the tricks they use. Okay. Now remember this. I'm gonna get back to this again. But zakat is balance. Remember I showed that, and those of you that have been around for a while, I explained to you. I says zakat is like walking on a tightrope. You gotta still keep balance. So the balance right now, in our time in history, is 1 for 1. It doesn't have an equal sign, right? So if you got a weight and you put 10 on this pound, you got to put 10 on this pound, then it's balance. That's justice. That's consequence. The consequence is justice. In our time period right now. I don't want to get into details, but you got a fulcrum, and that's, I'm not getting to that. So I'm just telling you so you don't come back later on, right? Justice for this time, because everything being equal, was on one side of the equation, oh, that's right, equal sign. So as long as you keep that, you're balanced. That's your stick, you keep your balance, right? But if you got a 10 on this side and 50 on this side, then you're off balance. And you're gonna fall. For example, that is, say for instance, now we get pressure. See, all these things you have to understand. That's why I talk a lot of concepts to get you to understand just the ABC stuff. I mean, 1, 2, 3, add and subtraction. Because you understand how the universe works. You understand how pressure governs our nature. I've been telling these things for years and years and years. If you haven't studied them and put them together, then yeah, you're just lost. Because I'm telling you all the basics. How they say, what's the meaning of life? I'm explaining all that to you. So we're in the pressure reality. So that means everybody has the same amount of energy or the same amount of force. You get the same amount of energy or the same amount of force every day, each one of us. So say, for instance, you get 100 units of force a day. Well, everybody's getting that, so that's the balance. But say you take 25 from somebody. Okay, now you got 25 more than you're supposed to have. That means you got negative energy because you're only supposed to have 100. I'd say 100, you have 100, but you got 125. Because that's the balance. Whatever your force is, that's your balance. So now you got negative, but the person you took it from, they got positive now. They only got 75, they got positive, they got 25 positive energy, right? Now I say every reaction has an opposite weak reaction. If you put somebody in the face, they can put you back in the face, so that's response. So the thing is now they got positive energy, which they can use to take the 25 back. And you got negative 25 energy, right? Which is going to prevent you from keeping it from taking it back. So because negative energy from you, so you just can't protect it. They can take it back, and you can't prevent them taking it back if they choose to take it back. That's the balance. So we're talking about universe opens and closes, dimensions of heaven and earth, all the energy used to be out there, that used to be here is out there now. Quran teaches you that. Now it's coming back in waves, approximately 50 years. So we're more and more energized. So for 40 years, we weren't able to control energy management because we didn't have any energy to manage other than the energy in our personal energy, how much energy it takes to maintain our bodies. And we didn't have enough to even take care of that, just enough to keep alive. And they worked the hell out of us. Do you understand that? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to go into some concepts here. Right? And so we'll see. Now I got 6 cases here. Right? This is the first case. You see here, the male and the female. It's 2 sides, the black, and they come together, form one body, one square. Right? And they fit together perfectly. Because that we used to be one being, we separated two aspects of ourselves. That's why it says in the Bible, it says a man will leave home, right? And I think you find his wife, something like that, and they'll be one flesh. Because you and your wife, you're one flesh. Because by yourself, you can't do anything. By yourself, you can't do anything, right? It's like, you got one arm, you got 2 arms, right? Well, they connected, so if you just separate them, I don't want to get that kind of complication, but the point is, you're 2 sides of one being. You're 2 sides of one being. We separated. At one time, we were not separated. We're 2 sides of one being. Okay? So here, now the Quran says, I showed this, says that the woman, right, she takes care, because, okay, to produce a baby, you put the seed in her, but she has to spend 9 months. Her energy, she's investing in this, so her energy, that baby represents her energy, right? Because that baby didn't come out of nowhere. That baby is her energy. Its nature is yours, but its body, its form, it's the material, what it's made of, that's her energy. Remember, everything is energy. That baby is her energy. It's just your form. But it's her energy. It's your form. That's all. It's her energy. So it's primarily hers. Right? Because it's made up of her energy. But it's yours because the form is your form. But it's her energy that made that baby. Her energy that made that baby, right? Okay. But how does she make it? Where does she get the energy from? She put the energy from you. Okay. So now it gets a little complicated, right? Because it's her energy. But where'd she get the energy from? She got it from you. Just follow me, brothers. Okay. So let's go on. So she produced the baby, right? This baby. So, and why she's doing this? Let's go to the next page right here. See, because, thank you, because what? You gave her the energy to produce that baby, right? So you gave this energy. Everything has to balance. You gave this energy. So if you gave her $1,000, right? Remember I said the balance. So here you are. You give someone $1,000. They got $1,000 more than they're supposed to have. So I give you $1,000 back. So everything balanced. Otherwise, they got negative energy. So, right? So she produced that baby for you. Got her energy, and she gives that back to you, and you give her the energy to produce it. So they got a balance. You understand? That's the balance. Like I said, the baby is yours. I think you said, a minute ago I said the baby's hers. They produce, let me clarify that. It's produced by her, it's produced by her energy. But where did you get energy from? She got it from you. So she put work in. based on energy you gave her. Right? So now it's balanced. Energy on one side and the baby on the other side, so you have the baby's yours. Right? And she has the energy. But remember that, but y'all want together, so both of y'all share the baby together, right? But the baby's yours, I've been telling you for years, it's yours, it's just your seed. But you want to buy, so both share it, right? See? But she got the food, and she had to give you something back for giving her the food, so she produced the baby for you. You understand the balance? Okay, let's move on. So she's thanking you because you gave her energy to make this happen. Thank you, honey. She respects you. Thank you. Right? Okay. Case 2. What's case 2 like? In this case, you don't give any energy. You're just making babies. So where'd she get the energy from? Well, she got it from the devils. Right? Section 8, welfare, whatever. She got it from the devils. See? And so you got the baby. Right? That's she gonna get it from. She got the right. I'm kind of like Lou's I think here, but like I said, I don't want to put a billion graphics together. So bottom line is, well, let me just go to the next page here. So in this case, since she's getting it from the devils, the balance is she got to give the devils back something. So she who she thinking? She thinking Jesus for the food she got and master, but she didn't get from you. And the baby, she got to get a master something back. Baby, I said, how you do that? That comes a lot of forms. Right? A lot of forms. Just get the baby up to master for adoption, right? Or brainwash the baby, the master, be a good Christian. Always putting the baby under master's control. Just put it that way. So that can take a lot of forms. But she has the baby under master's control. That's the balance it. She took this. You understand? So that's the balance. So I'm showing different things because that depends on how you, the effect you're going to get is how you could manage your energy or mismanage your energy. So in this case, right, in the other case, right, you was managing your energy. You was providing that. So everything worked out nice, copacetic. In the other case right here, you was managing it. Okay? You was managing it. Right? So you was managing it. Everything well, right? She's thanking you. You was managing. In this case, you ain't managing damn thing. You said I'm making baby, but you ain't managing nothing. So she's getting it from the devils. So now she's thanking Jesus, thanking Master, because that's what she getting it from you. Right? But now she got to do something in return. She got to give something back to Master to balance it out. Otherwise, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Right? So he's giving control over that baby to some way. Right? I mean, that she has to do that to maintain balance. Otherwise, what happens? Case 3. Okay, here's again. Here she is. Now, with this what happened in this case? She takes, right? But don't let my baby start nowhere. She don't give Master nothing back. She won't. I ain't give Master. I ain't teaching Christian. I ain't give Master nothing back. Okay, but then she created negativity for that baby. Because she took this, she ain't giving. She got negativity. She got negative energy now. Because the baby don't belong to her. Master gave her the energy to do it. She produced it. She don't give Master nothing. I'm going to give Master nothing back. Okay? So now she got bad luck on that baby. I'm trying to show you the mathematics, brothers and sisters. Because that's the problem. When you look at the Bible, it's just all mathematics. That's cold, that's cold. See, Christianity tries to soften it up. No, mathematics is cold. But they get you on an emotional level, and then you start loving people that hate you. Love the devil. If somebody loves you for beating them, then why they should beat you more? Hey, I'm beating her ass. She love it, man. I should love me more if I beat her more. That don't make any damn sense. If Master beats you, love him. The more Master hates you, love him more. Then hate becomes unrestrained. This is with case 3, I think. That's what happens there. You say, I'm not giving Master nothing. I'm taking from Master. I'm taking from him. I ain't giving nothing. Now, if this mathematics is wrong, let me know. Case 4. It's case 4. In this case here, don't let my baby starve. Now, see, in other words, you ain't giving anything. Let's go back here, make sure we get it, all the pieces together. You ain't providing, the devil's providing. But she ain't gonna give the devil my baby. I ain't giving the devil nothing back. I ain't giving anything back. So now you put negativity on your baby. Bad luck, bad negative energy. Right? Well, that way, let's go back here again. And here, right? You just giving the seed to produce baby. That's all you're doing. And all this is happening here. And you just producing seed. Okay? Remember, this is your whole body. You're part of this body. So you're experiencing this too. You experience whatever she experienced, you experience it too, because it's whole body. Remember, this whole body is here. You're part of this whole body. Yeah? So you're not immune, because this whole piece is your body. You and her together make one body. Let me make sure that's clear. So here's 4. Here's 4. Okay. Oh, my baby starved. So what's she going to do in this case? Right? Okay. Right? The same thing. Okay. What happened is, she giving you control. She still ain't giving the same thing, almost the same thing before. Right? Okay. But now, she giving you total control of the baby. But the baby should be over here to keep everything balanced, but it's out of balance because you ain't giving anything back to the devil. So I do this to make you understand that remember, here or here is still part of your body. To show you're not immune, that's why I'm doing this way, so you're not immune because you go back to years, right? That's the same thing as this, if you understand you're one body. Same thing as this. You're still in this body here. Okay? Okay. Case 5 here. Case 5 here. I ain't gonna let my baby starve. Right? So what's the attitude here? Right? You still ain't providing anything. Just making babies. That's talking about the male. So you take, okay, well, I'm gonna give the devil something. I'm gonna give him my work. That's how I'm gonna give my energy. I'm gonna work for him. Okay? You still ain't doing nothing. So she said she keeping negativity off her baby, but she got to work for the devils. You ain't doing it. So now she out there working. Popeyes. McDonald's, whatever. Keep the balance. Or Age 6, be this. I'm prostituting for the devils. See? Keep the balance. Because you ain't controlling the energy, the devil's controlling it. So you either do it because you don't know any better or you don't believe. Because you understand everybody gets the same amount of energy, then you shouldn't let anybody control your energy. Because, man, I might starve, man. But okay, well then. Because you think the devil, only thing you think, only way you're going to get energy is from the devil. So it means you're a slave to the devil. You let him control you. He's controlling your energy, so you're a slave to him. Our people are still enslaved. Because once you have this mathematics, if you believe this mathematics, understand it, right, then you would not do that because you be out there, you providing. And you know for sure that you can provide just as much as they will provide. Only thing is now, you ain't taking it. You got to provide for yourself. They say, "Oh, I'm just letting them do it. I'm scared, man. I might lose my job." And I used to, when I was doing my contracting business, and I go in, and I'd be at a work shop, right? There's some black folks in there. Not many, they haven't been many. But they always been employees. And they wasn't making that much money. They were working their ass off. And they knew, some didn't know much. But some knew, they knew as much as I knew, but they knew stuff, right? I was telling my brother, man, you ain't got to stand here and put up with this bullshit. You can start your own contracting business. Right? I told him I'd do it. I said, I did it. Look at me. Right? I don't even have a high school education. I got a GED. I didn't even get through the first year of high school. Right? I look at my name, man. I ain't no Christian. I ain't kissing her ass. I come in, man. Lady pay me $50, $60, $40, $50, $60, $70 an hour sometimes. One time I had two contracts. I back in two contracts. One was $70 an hour and 50 by two at the same time. I couldn't do both of them. That's a long story. I had to stop. It was just too much of a drain. But they were scared. Oh man, I might not be able to. I had that problem with my wife initially. She's got over it. I mean, I understand because we've been taught that way. But every time something, oh man, because I wasn't afraid to go into unknown. Because I told myself when I was a child, I used to think this way. I says, well, I'm going to live, I'm going to die one day. So what the hell am I afraid of being dying for? I can't tell when it's going to happen. So what am I afraid of being dying for? And if I'm going to live this life and I'm going to die one day, why am I going to live somebody tell me what to do, control me? I just didn't make any sense to me. I'm a child now. I'm still I started thinking about 16, 17 years old. Before I went to the military. I said, well, why would I can't stop from dying. I'm going to die one day. Right? And so why I need to go through life being enslaved by somebody else telling me what to do? I understood that when I was a child. Were they going to kill me? Right? And so I was staying independent even then. I wasn't afraid. And all my life, I've done things people used to say, well, how you do this? Like when I walked away from the military, I just walked away cold. I didn't care about them catching me, put me in jail, and I just walked away. Because I saw what I needed to do. I went to look for Elijah. I didn't give a damn what he was doing because I said, hey, I had no fear. I just went. Period. Like when I lived in Chicago, New Jersey, all I had was, I usually was in Mustangs then, right? I had a little Mustang, I had a little money in my pocket. I think about $100 or whatever. It was a long story. I left, came to New Jersey, nothing. That's all, $100 in my pocket. I guess enough money to get some gas. And my Mustang. I stayed my own car, I think for a week. Right? Next thing I know, it was a year later, year and a half later, maybe about a year and a half later, somewhere around there, I'm living in a mini mansion, got my own contracting business going, right? Plenty of money, mini mansion. These had at least 5 bathrooms, I'm sure, right? Sauna inside, built sauna, with pool room. Nice piece of land, another detached garage where had a house over. It was a house really, with a room on top and right. People say, how do you do that? I was like, I ain't goddamn afraid. What am I afraid of? And I've been homeless. Right? I've been there too. Right? I'm just saying, I never could understand it. And that's one of the people, it says in scripture, they didn't listen to Moses because they feared Pharaoh. And look what Elijah did. And that's why I wasn't here helping him. He gave the man some information. He went and look what he did. He built a little empire. Didn't have education. Didn't have 3rd grade education. He was fearless. And with Farrakhan, he put fear right back in you. Well, people didn't listen to Farrakhan. They was with Elijah. See, you can be fearless. People behind you, well, they full of fear, but they see you successful. They can just hang behind you, but they don't get it. Because if you go, they fall apart. Because they never caught on. Everybody wants a winner. They get behind you like a fan, right? So they never got what Elijah Muhammad said. So therefore, when Elijah was gone, it fell apart. Fall for Farrakhan. Bullshit. I didn't. Because I got it. Right? So when Elijah Muhammad departed, right, I had a brief, because I had lost everything, because I worked for the Nation. I was a foreman Muhammad Speak newspaper, night foreman, right? I lived in the Nation complex, had my own apartment there, beautiful apartment, right? My car was financed at a Granada. One of the Granadas came up against the car, one of them, brand new. We had that, financed through the Nation's Bank, right? Shopped at your supermarket, the whole 9 yards. I had virtually no contact with devils at all. I can't remember having any contact with them. And when Farrakhan, they got rid of all that stuff, so boom, right there, I'm out with nothing. And I was married, but was nothing. Right? And so it was like about a year before I kind of got my footing, right? And I was walking down the street one day, see, but I ain't never stole anything from anybody, I never took anything from anybody, right? And so things work out. So I kept on with what I was doing. I kept trying to figure out how to pull things together, right? And I'm walking down the street one day, and his brother said, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good. Would you like to learn about computers?" And I knew something about computers when I was in the Army, because they called tab machines. So I was, yeah, man, I knew had something about it. Yeah, man. He said, "Well, we got this program, Urban League. Right, well, you can go to school for 3 months. They're going to pay you while you're going. And Urban League's going to do the administration, and IBM will provide equipment and instructors. And if you come out top 10%, you guarantee a job in local industry, right?" This is a program, it's a long story, but that was, yeah, man, I jumped on that. I made sure I came out first in the class, right? Because name like Raheem, I knew I was going to have some issues. Right, and I wouldn't hide the fact that I would realize Muhammad, when Elijah Muhammad departed, right? I wasn't with Farrakhan and them clowns, and boom, I got a job. They didn't fulfill their promise, because IBM wouldn't take me. God, they knew who I was. They wouldn't have no touch. They had nothing with me. If IBM, because they were like conservative, crystal clean, Ku Klux Klan folks, right? So I got with Montgomery Ward, and then from there, I studied everything. I learned everything I could about computers, right? I ain't sit around here and scratch my ass, everything, because my plan was to go for self. Start my own business. Once I learned as much as I could, I wanted to start my own business, some contracting business. That's what, like I said, I left New Jersey, left Chicago, New Jersey. Things just work out. So it took about a year to kind of get my footing back together. Right? And fearless. And I went, oh man, you gonna go contracting, man? You ain't gonna, man, what if you don't get a contract? And like I was saying, my wife was, she initially, I would do stuff, and she always said all the stuff that go wrong. I said, well, what about the things that go right? See, I'll be looking at what could go wrong. You think of that, you never do anything. Right? What could go wrong? No, what could go right? And that's the way I think. And I move forward. I don't be looking backwards. Look backwards, you're gonna bump into stuff. See? But most people, because I was in the military, all these brothers in the military were so afraid of every goddamn thing. I couldn't understand it. They're afraid of white people, especially one from the South. And I couldn't understand. The white boys would talk to them all nasty and everything else. I'm not getting this whole thing today. I got to talk a couple of things. The first night I got over in Germany, right? A place called Stuttgart. So they had these big rooms, right, where they put you in. They got a bunch of beds in there, right, almost like a prison thing, right? But it's a big room, beds in there. So it was like an empty room, and because I was transferred, that was like a transit. You go there, and from there they sign you to where you actually want to be. So it's like a transit point, hub or something. So the first night I'm there in Stuttgart, they sent me there, and they was, I'm figuring out where they're going to ship me to in Germany. And I went in the room, and at first, there wasn't nobody in the room. There was a bunch of beds in there, but I was there. I was on my bunk, and I fell asleep. And next thing I know, somebody kicked the bunk. I wake up. This dude, his name is Bowie. I ain't gonna forget this devil's name, boy. I didn't even know that was the devil's name, right? I knew something was wrong with him. Because I wasn't down with white folks. I was always, that was a natural thing with me, right? He kicking. What's going on? He's kneeling down by the side of my bed, right? He's got a hunting knife. He's throwing it in the floor, wood floor, right? Well, I'm from California. I'm a Hell's Angel. And we don't like niggers in California. Now, over in the corner, just where you come in the room, there was 3 or 4 other white boys. They were sitting watching, so I knew what the deal was. I was about to get my ass kicked. That was the deal. So I didn't say anything. Right? So he did it a few more times, then went back over there where it was. So I laid there for a minute. I guess I actually fell asleep. Then boom, kicked the bunk again. I told you, I'm a Hell's Angel, man. We don't like niggas. Right? And so I still ain't said nothing. So I guess it's trying to provoke me to do, I don't know what they was trying to do. But anyway, I didn't react. And so that one blew over. The next day I got transferred to another unit. He got transferred to the same unit that I went to. And so they're like EM Club, enlisted man club, right? So I went up there. Right, that's something you do after hours, right? He was in there. So I waited, he came outside, grabbed, and I started working on him. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, I weighed about 100 pounds. I was small, right? Then I worked on, I just wasn't afraid. I got boop, boop, boop. Everybody gathered around, white boys gathered around, everybody gathered around me. I was whooping them up, right? And I said I didn't know anybody in the unit. I just, it was just one white boy I knew. They called him Alphabet, Kalinsky or whatever his name was, and we came over together from the States, right? So he tried to be my friend and stuff, right? So he did, looked around, make sure nobody jumped me while I was whooping Bowie's ass. Anyway, so after about a few days, after I stayed for a while, I started getting bit. Black dudes would come up on me, like, hard. I didn't understand what was going on, man. So I was fighting all the damn time, man. Boom. Now what I found out was is they were attacking me because I beat the white boy's ass up. I mean, you think that's crazy? That's exactly what was going on. I couldn't understand it. See? And I said, why y'all, so, and it ended, it finally stopped doing it because this dude came in, he was from Alabama, some place, they call him Deadeye. I don't know why they call him Deadeye, I think it's Iowa Dwarf or something. And this is about a year in, I was about a year in, because I was almost, and they never put me in, never got court-martial or anything like that, because I think that the what do you call him, the first sergeant, I think they was surprised that saw a black person stand up fighting for herself. They never gave me a court-martial or anything. And I was fighting all the damn time. Right? And you get court-martial, they call Article 15 for that stuff. I guess they said, man, this nigga different. I never did, so I don't know why. They never did. So this kept on going till one day, I'm in about a year, so we had a semi-private room, me and another guy, another black guy, had a room together. Right? Inside the Army base, right? So I get a knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. So who is it? It's Deadeye. I said, what you want? I want you. Oh boy, here we go. You gonna pump me? I said, okay, wait a minute. Because I didn't have all my clothes on, right? I put my pants on, open the door. Right away. I knocked him out. He was bleeding all over the place. He had this sergeant I had never seen before named Richardson. He was a black guy too. He was pretty cool, but I had never seen before, right? And he came upstairs and he saw, he was like the sergeant of the guard for the night, right? He saw the guy bleeding and everything else, man. He told him, he asked what Hal told him. They took the guys to the hospital and everything else. Nobody said a damn thing to me. No black guys messed with me more after that. That was into that nonsense. But they was always scared of these white boys. I couldn't understand it. And they got mad at me because I was beating the white boy's ass up. Because the white boy said to me, and Finn was into it. Right? Like I said, I was a little something. I was like 70 years old. I was 18 by that time. Anyway, I thought I'd just say that. But that fear factor. And Elijah Muhammad said, put fear in you. And so we got people that they stand to go for self. But that's the bottom line. Elijah Muhammad, remember, that was his base message, go for self. Energy, he didn't call energy management, but that's what it meant. Tell you, do for self, stop depending on these devils. He kept saying, welfare, gonna say farewell. Get off of that stuff. If you go for self, start your own thing. Look at me. See, he set an example. Look at me. I'm here. No education, anything else. Look what I built. I built an empire here. People still afraid. Like I said, when he left, when the first thing was, I said, we don't need this stuff. White man got it. Farrakhan's right there with him. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Yeah? So now you can go out here and be a brother. See, that's how you maintain the balance. So, because you see it, you got these, I call them brothers or whatever, got sis out there, she got a baby or two, right? Maybe more. And she out there working at Popeyes and Burger King and everything else. He's sitting home. And she got to bring the food home, cook it, and feed him and the baby. What kind of shit is that? Right? And then he get mad at her because she's saying, thank you, Jesus. Why? What you gonna thank him for? And he want to beat her down because she won't listen to him. Why should she listen? Because you got balls? Right? Well, you don't be glad I ain't no sister. Because you wouldn't have them long. You wake up, you'd be missing. You'd be missing, boy. But you don't need them, you ain't. Okay, let's look at this here, brothers and sisters. I hope you understand the mathematics. I'm just showing you different ways to look at that situation. And if you look at that, you see that's what's happening. And you can't blame the sisters for that. Because they're doing their part. They're producing the baby. That's what Quran said. That's their responsibility. Your spine will give her the energy and stuff she needs, the quality that she needs, because she's getting energy. But you gotta do the work of transform it to the form that she can use, the food and shelter and stuff. That's your job, because she's taking your seed and give it form, ain't she? She gave form to your energy that came in the form of a seed. So you got to give her energy form. That's why one body. So the digestive system, right, gives form to energy, right, that comes in from food, right, and give it the nutrition that the heart needs and the lungs. See what I'm saying? Because somebody has to do something. There's a conversion factor there. If the conversion factor not working, you got a problem. The lungs ain't converting the energy into oxygen, what the body needs. So you're not converting the energy, right, that she needs. And then you wonder, what she needs you for? Because that's what you're supposed to be doing. If you ain't doing that, then you're worthless. You're a cancer to the body. You shouldn't be there. If you ain't doing that, you're supposed to be converting that energy and her energy into a form that she can use. And she converting her energy in a form you can use, your seed. This is the problem we have with our people. And right now the devils are doing that, so therefore they have control. I'm going to show you something more, a little deeper here in a minute. You see this right here? Let me get a little deeper into this. We'll get to a little multiplication here. Division. Here's China. See, China's got gold, right? Here's America. They got the flag. They ain't got shit, right? They got the flag. China's got the gold. Got gold, right? Watch this carefully. If they take China's gold, let me take something else, create negative for yourself, because you take something you ain't supposed to. They take something that don't belong to them. He converted to gold. They took it. Okay? So what happens? Now, how do they produce a child? With the energy that they got from, because that gold is energy, right? God just puts some form of gold. But it's in. So they take that, and that gold is what they're living off of. They get food and everything with, right? That's what America's doing. It's taking energy from everybody else, taking their gold and everything, converting it to a form they can use, which turns a baby in this case. But it's energy, so where do they get the energy to produce it? They got it from the gold that they converted to food or whatever. They bought food enough with the gold. It wasn't theirs. They took that gold, money or whatever, and bought food and shelter, whatever, and that's the energy. That's how they produce that baby, because they produce energy that they find from food and carrying on with food that didn't belong to them, because they took it from the Chinese. Mr. China there, you understand that? I hope you understand that, because your child is energy, right? And where they get the energy from to produce it, right? See? From the wealth they got from China. Okay, what happened then? So who owns that baby? Because remember, they got to pay China back. Consequence said China's got to get back what they took from them. So from consequence point of view, that baby belongs to China, not to them. Because it was China's energy that created that baby. It's in that form, right? But still, they took $1 million and that baby worth $1 million, and then they got to give me that, so it comes back in that form. Now, why I'm saying this, because the Bible tells you that's exactly what's happening. Let's go look at it. See what it says here. And you can see Jerusalem's compassed with armies, and know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let them who are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them in countries enter thereof, for these days of vengeance, all things that are written may be fulfilled. Days of vengeance. I told you, vengeance. Who's vengeance? Somebody's paying them back what they did. Remember the days of vengeance? That means it was being dammed up. Right? If somebody hits you right back, right? But days of vengeance, that means it was held back. So now all of a sudden, the dam is breaking. So we're going to see about that in a minute, right? You go right here, see? These are devils taken in captivity. So woe to those are with child and those who give suck, and for there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. They shall fall by the edge of sword and shall be led away captive in all the nations. Why did they led away captive in all the nations? Why did Europeans, the Americans left captive in all the nations? Because these are the sins of people that stole all the energy that may create them. They stole energy from us, from China. Everything they got is stolen. They thought they was getting away with it. So God's not mocked. So the energy that produced their children was stolen energy. So their children are stolen energy. So that's why at the end, when the dam breaks and the consequences come, they capture all the nations, because now the nations getting back, but it's getting the form of their children. I told you it's all mathematics, brothers and sisters. They're getting the form of their children. So their children, eternal slaves, they can't break out of it, and there's no consequence from that, because you can't get consequence for doing something what you own yourself. If you own something, you beat it up, there's no consequence to that, because that's what you own. You do whatever you want, you do it. Well, you can do with your energy that you have, you do anything you want to do with it. So they can do anything with them. So they're captive. So now they're captive forever. Because all the energy that created them was stolen energy. That's why he's saying that. See? That's why America's going to be a basket case in a minute, because really, there's no really loyal Americans. They think they are, but they don't belong. The cohesiveness, there's no cohesiveness there. That's why America can't win in wars or anything else, because there's no cohesiveness there, because these children belong to everybody else. You understand that the vectors, how vectors work, but anyway, let's move on. Now see this right here? Look at this one. This was us. We was told to submit. Okay? Now I'm going to go a little deeper into this. I said, I like to deep into a lot of stuff, but I can't. You ain't up on add subtraction. So how can I go into this like, okay. We didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. So they got control of us. We didn't have enough energy to manage, right? Because we had enough energy to keep ourselves alive, right? Okay. So if we went and took energy from someone, right? Okay, say you got enough energy to maintain yourself, right? So you get $1,000 a day, and it takes $1,000 a day to maintain you. So, man, you don't have energy for anything else. You don't have energy for family. You have energy for anything. Energy for nation. Nothing. Just energy enough to stay alive. That's all you got enough energy for. Because everybody needs $1,000 worth of energy per day, and that's all you get. So that's energy deprivation. That's where we were. We had control of anything. Just being alive. Okay. So then you go and take 50 from somebody else. Okay, now that's negative. That's negative. Right? So you got to pay that back somehow. So now I see the wisdom of telling us to submit to Adam. Because we submit, that means we let them take whatever you want. We don't take anything back from them. You get it? So we was protecting our seed by doing that, by submitting, because other nations, right? Not only are devils being taken captivity, but a lot of them going to go in captivity themselves, because they was taking, right? They didn't submit, because what it says this won't happen to the power of the holy people are broken. Holy people meant the Arabs, because they wouldn't submit. They was taking. So that's why I said the breaking of the power would be totally broken. Because they were going to form energy deprivation. Because they don't have control themselves. That's why there's those divide over there. Remember during the 1,000 years, they was all united. They're all divided over there now. That's why the devils take them down, one by one, by one, by one, just take them down. It says this would happen. Read it. Daniel says, when the power of the holy people are broken, because they didn't submit, so they kept taking. So therefore, their seed. That's why the seed is white now. They were black back then. That's part of the reason why the seed is white. I didn't get to that before. I didn't explain that to you. Part of the reason why the seed is white, because they own, right? They only own them. So the devils own them. But then the devils is like a double thing. The devils own them, but then everybody own the devil, so they totally messed up. It's like, I own you, but somebody own me, so that whoever own me owns you too. See the complication here? That's why that power be broken, because that's what it's telling you. So by us submitting, we state our seed. Because now our seed become a unified great army, independent of them, because they're not owned by anybody. Because we submitted, we didn't take anything, right? So our seed we had, right, wasn't from taking anything from them, right? Just taking every little bit of energy we had. And then the sisters, right, they saved our nation. We saved our seed, but they saved our nation. When I say I saved our seed, we saved our seed from future enslavement. To be God's free when the reservation was over. That's why I said, Smith, don't retaliate, don't take anything. Just let them take everything they want. So they actually took more from us. So we only had 1,000, but they took that too. So they owed us, because we had 1,000, we had to maintain ourselves. But they afflicted us, means they took more from us, because we had just enough. And so we should just have some servitude. You see how this stuff, see how this stuff comes together? We're just in servitude. That means we have nothing to take care of ourselves. But afflict us, that means they're taking some of that energy. So we got 1,000, and that's enough to take care of ourselves, and they take 300 of that. So now when we got 7, we got 300 worth of positive energy, right? Okay. Then that positive energy also takes form in our seed. So seeds get better and better and better by affliction. See? And they get worse and worse and worse because they taking extra from us, which is causing their seed to go negative. Ours become positive. They take more from us than, you understand what I'm saying? That's, all this was thought out. Dr. Shabazz thought all this out. This was all planned. But we had to go to the end and say, submit. So we stayed intact. We stayed intact. See? Now, part of the reason why Levite, because they didn't stay totally intact. Not as well as we did. See? They still stayed intact enough to survive it. That's why they see us black and we're gold. They're silver. They didn't stay intact as much as we did, but they still stayed intact. Right? They survived it. Right? But we went 100% submission. They went like maybe 90% submission. They were a little grumpy or whatever. A little fight back a little bit. Basically, that's what the deal was. Right? So they the silver and we the gold. Because we all came over here as gold. Right? But that's why, because silver also represents being black. You understand? That's the deeper aspect of what's going on here. I'm trying to give you mathematics. It's a deeper aspect of what's going on here. Just submit. Let them take. We're protecting our seed. We wasn't doing it in vain. We're protecting our seed. Our seed be out of control of them. So when time came when we started getting enough energy to get out of here, our seed would not be in control of them. See? We come together as a seed great army and go home. Right? But some people, because they didn't do enough, right? Then they had to go tribulation. They had to go a little more. They're not totally free yet. See? So they have just a little more to get out. It's a little harder for them to get out, but they get out. See, Levi's a little harder for them to get out, but they get out. But for Shabazz, it's easy to get out. 100% submission. Is that making sense to you, brothers and sisters? I told you it's all mathematics. And it's not complicated once you understand. I use basic mathematics to explain this. Basic mathematics. So you believe it or you don't, that's up to you. Okay, I'm going to take a 1 minute break, sisters. And let's see how far I'm into this. Oh no, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do this one more and then we'll close. Hold on, brothers, just give me a second here. Mm-mm. Thank you, Chicken. Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm going to do a couple more topics and maybe I'll finish up tomorrow. I always start out thinking we'll do a half an hour and it's been about 2 hours already. Something like that, I don't know. There's so much, brothers and sisters. I said, there's a lot I could tell you, but I said, it's only me. I try to teach people so they can start thinking mathematically and go to the next step, but it doesn't seem to be working. Think mathematically. Then you start seeing the stuff. Okay, the money illusion. Okay, I told you this before again. See, I said you work, but they want to give you money instead. But you work, right? You work for food, you work for clothes. But he give you money. So now you actually doing extra work, right? Because now you gotta take, instead of, if you went there and worked, and he gave you food, and, okay, ma'am, you go eat your food, you go home. But now you gotta take him and go to the store, buy the food, you gotta pay the rent. See, you gotta do extra work. Money's not really helping you. You say, oh, at convenience, I can buy what I want to buy. But what do you want to buy? You want to buy food? You want to buy clothes? It's a trick, but anyway. And it's a means of controlling you. Because then they can tell you that you can't buy it too. Now you can't buy a gold mine. The only thing you can buy is a shit farm. So you live in the ghetto. And here's the case. And then capitalism. See, you understand we have, each season has a certain economic. In the wintertime, the economics is different than summertime. See, in summertime, right? But with spring, right, you got different type of economics because you go out and plant stuff and everything else, right? But in wintertime, you still eat everything that you planted. You got a whole different economic system. People understand that. Capitalism is for the energy deprivation economic system. But now that's coming to an end. It don't work anymore. Because like I said, if there's food everywhere, why would you have to work for anybody? And in Paris, food will be everywhere. And Paris is here on planet Earth. Anyway, but it's capitalism, maximum profit, minimum overhead. That's slavery by definition. That means I give you don't give you as much as you deserve, right? See, you take me what I don't get you pay. You know, I don't pay you for what you produce. Right? So you go out there and you go out and make $1 million for me, and I pay you $10,000. Well, I should pay you for what you. That's what capitalism works. That's by slavery definition. So we produce gold for them, cornbread, biscuits, steak and spaghetti, whatever, and they fed us chitlins. Stuff they used to throw away. That's what chitlins is. That's what they called it back then. They actually called it chitlins. They changed after you call yourself free. They changed it. That's what put a C there. You still buying it because they still sell at Walmart. Somebody's buying it, and it's shit. And that stuff you just throw away. It's from the pig. They wouldn't eat it. They threw it away. And you can show me one person, show me one white person, and I'll just shut up to eat chitlins. You don't know any white people eat that stuff because they know what it is. They call it soul food. They got you. See, they know how to, they studied for 40 years. It's called soul food. That's cool now. Eat shit, but it's soul food. Really? Because all soul food is all shit. Most of it, pork and everything else. But soul food, that's cool. So here it is. He giving him $400. He giving him $400. He giving him $100 back. He produced $400 for him. He's paying $100 to produce $400 for him. See, you're still an employee. You're still a slave. That's got a name for it called employees. Like they changed shitlins to chitlins. So they changed slavery to employee. You're still a slave. What happened? I'm in the wrong way. There you go, see? And here's gold. And all this gold you produce for him. Right? Now see, this is the kind of system that we had, called bartering. See? Because when you understand you have one body, see, capitalism is not based on one body. It's based on how much you make of all the parts of your body. So if you got one part of your body exploiting other parts of your body, how long is that going to work? They got to cooperate with each other. But capitalism means you exploit. You exploit other parts of your body for your benefit. But in bartering, all the body works together. I keep telling you, one body. So some parts of your body, right, like to farm. Another part like to sing. Another like to build, right? Another like to fish. That's what they like to do. I explained yesterday, and I'm going into detail. And we cultivate that from birth. So you have to go to school, take out a loan, all this kind of stuff. And then you're 20 years old, now you can start learning how to be an engineer. Look all the time you wasted. Well, if you're born an engineer, you start from scratch. As soon as you can understand what it takes to be, start building blocks or whatever. Right? So that's what happens. So the point is, you go to the farmer, and hey, you go there, you just go get what you want. You're not going to ask anything, man. Hey, go out, you got some cabbage, you got some boom, right? And then when he needs an extension to his farm, because that's good, he can produce more, right? Hey, we tune in at that time, right? Hey, I need this. Okay, the engineer say, hey, brother Abdul, man, let's go and get you come over, man. You do the architect, the design, you do the architect, right? And you get the equipment, right? And you get the material, and I'll build it. That's just the way it works. Because we're the same body. We don't have to pay me. I'm just going to do it because, and we're not, hey man, we have some family over. Hey, let's go over to Brother Abdul's, man, and go over there and get some greens, man, whatever, right? And some potatoes and whatever. Boom, go over and get it. Hey, Brother Abdul, hey man, go ahead, yo, okay. Hey, you need help? No, okay. Well, let me know if you need help to pick up anything. That's where we roll, brothers and sisters. It's called bartering. No money involved. Like I said, if your heart going to pay your loans by giving them money, how does that work? The money's a trick, it's an illusion. It's a means of controlling the quality, because they can tell you, okay, you work for food, I'm gonna give you money. But they tell you, you can't buy anything from my store. Think about that. Because, I mean, it used to be like that, right, in the South? In the North, too. You couldn't buy anything. You had the money, but you couldn't come to the store. You couldn't go in this restaurant, whatever. But you had the money. Well, you can't get the damn money. There's another means of control. That's another means of control. But you understand that. Oh, see? And this way it is, see? Everybody's got a part in the body. Right? And so everybody knows what everybody needs. If we can tune in at that time, so everybody knows what everybody needs. They need, okay. That's where it was before we came here. You wasn't employed before you came here. We had that system before you came here. The return system was even better than before. We had a system because the tribes, they tell you as a tribe, that was the people living in suburbs. We had cities, major cities. Timbuktu was one of the best, one of the major cities on the whole planet. People from all over the world would come up Timbuktu University. Carthage, Cairo, Egypt. You know they got pyramids in Sudan they won't tell you about. Google it. There are pyramids in Sudan. Reason why I tell you that because you know Sudan are black people. Because they want to think the Egypt was white. So they tell you the pyramids in Sudan, the exact same pyramids like you got in Egypt. They realized that Egypt really were black people. See? The Arabs all, they was black when Prophet Muhammad's time. When Prophet Muhammad said he was black. They was all black. See? That's part of the trick they have to convince us that we ain't the true seed of Abraham. They on board with that stuff too. You know, a story I talked about yesterday, so you can go and look it up. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. I'll go into this tomorrow. Yeah. So the bottom line, brothers and sisters, is it's a special presentation. I had a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but the main thing I want to talk about I already did. Right. Energy management. I show you different outcomes, right? And how you got to think mathematically to understand energy is everything. And so now you see, understand what the scripture is saying when they say these different things, because it's a result of energy management. And it's all because Jesus or no deity, anything doing special stuff is mathematics. And so when they say these things, there's mathematics behind it. See, so what they did they thought it was getting away by stealing and ripping off everybody. They doomed their seed to eternal slavery because they don't own them. Because everything they got was stolen. This land is stolen, everything else. They ain't getting away. And the bottom line is, right? This gets a little more deep. This gets a little deeper, right? And I told you about when you take and upgrade yourself. See, we recycle ourselves. Recycle ourselves. It tells you in Christ how you bring death to life, right? Take 4 birds, teach and incline to you. I explained that. Maybe I'll do it again. I'm planning to do specials where I explain verses, but I'm still working on that. Right? But they do them themselves. Because the people that enslaved us, their seed is them. Their seed is them. And once we get in tune and we lock that super mind, if you want to call it that way, right? We'll be able to look and see them and see through their minds and know who they were, who they were. We know who Jefferson was, Washington was. I shouldn't go in there. But they can't get into our minds because they're a different body, but we can look at theirs. So they ain't getting away with anything. See, that's why I tell you, you go to judgment, everybody got to judge for they. No. They think it's going to die, then you die, you go, no, that's here. Like how many times heaven is here on earth, hell is here on earth. So in other words, if you got to pay for what you did, then how can you pay if you die? No. That's why I say, oh, death, where's thy sting? Oh, grave, where's thy victory? The Quran tells you that you think death, I forgot the exact verse. And I leave it there, brothers and sisters. Nobody's getting with anything. And all they did to us, they're going to pay for it in spades. Everybody's going to pay. You don't get away from here without paying. Everybody's going to pay. That's the judgment. Judgment is something that happens before you die. Judgment. Okay, let me say it this way. I don't know if I'm quoting this right. It says, I'm not quoting it right, so you can check it out, but It's in the book of the cow, right? It says, even if they live 1,000 years, they will not escape. They cannot escape the consequence of what they're doing. So, because it's happening, it's happening while they're living. Like I said, you can dam it up, but you can't stop it. And you can't die before the dam breaks. You can't escape consequence. No one ever escapes consequence. No one. It's impossible. Commit suicide, you not escape consequence. See, you got people thinking, especially people that think they was with Elijah, right? They weren't. Well, you live one time, you die. That's not what Elijah Muhammad taught. He said you don't come back from the grave, so they assume and make assumptions. No, nobody come back from the grave. You come back through the womb. That's what the Quran teaches you. So they think, oh, well, if I get it wrong or whatever, I just blow my brains out, man. Okay. What it says about during the time of locusts, so they would seek death and not be able to find it. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.